Welcome into another edition of Dolphins All Access. Obviously, it's a holiday week, so things are a little loose. So we're here in the studio for this one. Of course, Goldie will probably tell us 13 times today how he was at camp.
Were you at camp?
Yeah, I spoke to Jalen Phillips, Raheem Mostert. They're very much looking forward to the Black Friday game against the Jets.
Did they say hello to you when you saw them?
Turn around.
Yeah.
You dropped a couple names when you're walking onto the set. All right, let's talk about this week. I know.
You asked me.
Yeah.
I told you.
Jalen feels really good, though.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
Well,
hot.
let's talk about the defense.
See, it is good that I talked to him. Now you're interested,
What
Bo.
did Jalen Phillips have to say about the Dolphins defense now that everyone's coming together and he gets a sack and a pick last week against the Raiders?
The comfortability that these guys now have in Vic Fangio's defense.
Yeah.
You know, no one really knew when it would click, not only for the players, but for Vic himself. But Jalen Ramsey's come in, and he's really solidified the whole thing. But Jalen Phillips, Bradley Chubb on the outside are putting tremendous pressure on these offenses, and Wilkins and Sealer up the middle. Yeah, and Van Ginkel. Dolphins, the only team in the league. 5 players with at least 4 sacks.
Yeah.
Wow. Well,
they're playing really. Look, I think what we're seeing is Vic Fangio getting used to the players and knowing what they do the best, and he can put them in those positions, and the players understanding what they want out of what Vic wants out of them, and them coming together.
Yeah.
Now you got last week when everybody was healthy, you had all those quarters. You had Ramsey on one side, you had X on the other side, you had Kahu inside, and you had a great setup back there, and that gave those guys up front that extra step, that extra tick that quarterback has to hold the ball to get to him, and I think it's that's what you want. You want to get these guys protecting the pass, these guys going after the quarterback, and these guys giving them time. And I think we're going to see this throughout the rest of the season. This team is extremely healthy as any team in the National Football League right now. But let's see if they can keep it going that way. I think if they can stay somewhat healthy, the best is yet to come. I believe
it's a dangerous team defensively. They may be one of the better teams defensively in the NFL when it's all said and done. And the crazy thing is, really outside the game in Buffalo, you never really thought that the defense was bad. So they were always kind of getting better. But yes, you guys are right. I think they're off and running. All right, this week, I mean, if they're not 8-3 at the end of Black Friday. How bad would you feel about this?
Do you want to fill in the blank? It's a disaster.
It's a disaster.
It's a shock.
Yes.
Anything else you want to throw in there?
I mean, it would be the worst loss.
They're playing a team without an NFL quarterback, a team that cannot score a point.
Yep.
So, I mean, I think as long as they don't totally, lay it out there,
lost on their way to the
5 turnovers, they win the game.
If you lose to either the Jets, the Commanders, the Titans. Who else do we have?
Well, that's the 4 in a row.
Yeah.
That's the next 4. So the Jets again.
So and then the Jets again. You lose one of those games, that's going to knock you out of winning the division. If you lose one of those games.
Wow, I would have said the AFC. I think they could still win the division if you drop one of them.
You can, but Buffalo's kind of they're kind of turning.
See, I don't discount Buffalo yet either.
I'm not going to discount Buffalo.
But the Bills play the Eagles and the Chiefs the next 2 weeks.
They got a tough schedule, but the Dolphins. Look, the Dolphins. We said, look. They still haven't beaten a good football team. Even if they beat all those,
Denver's good.
Even if they beat all those 4 teams, if they beat the Jets twice, they beat those other teams each one, and you lose those other ones. You will have gone without beating a good team, and still, even if you win the division, still getting a home field advantage. But I don't think that's good enough.
So for you to be a believer, you got to see them actually beat a good team before the playoffs.
I do.
So you got 3 games. So you got the next 4, and then you got those 3. You got Dallas, Baltimore, and Buffalo.
Talk about a playoff tune-up. You get those 3 in a row.
Just go back to Monday night and look at what Philadelphia did. They had to get that monkey off their back, and no, they didn't get a Super Bowl trophy for it. But it certainly let them know that if they play them again in a Super Bowl, they've got it on their shoulder that we can win this game. The Dolphins need to have a game like that they can put in their bag and say, hey, we've done this on the road to a very good football team.
By the way, the Dolphins, it's not like they played those 2 teams poorly either. I mean, they had their miscues, missteps, whatever, turnovers, but they're right there, possession away.
Tyreek doesn't turn over that ball and give them a touchdown at the end of the first half. And
Dolphins might win that game.
They might win that game.
Yeah, no doubt. Sure. All right, so it should be fun. I hope everyone enjoys your Thanksgiving. Guys, don't pig out too much. Yeah, this isn't a half-hour show. Remember, this is all access.
You like stuffing?
This is a quick one. I love stuffing. Gravy on it.
No, of course.
I like everything. There's nothing on Thanksgiving I don't like.
Cranberry.
Bring it on.
There you go.
Little sweet potato.
Thanksgiving Day treat.
I hate it.
that's a different story for a different day.
I think that's a great idea. Thanksgiving Day tree for those
Who puts up a tree
that want to
for
step
those?
out of their box.
Who puts up a tree for Thanksgiving?
Well, I
don't know
but
anybody.
What?
I don't have a problem. If I went to someone's house and there was a tree up and it was a special Thanksgiving tree.
Who's ever heard of such a thing?
I don't know. But before that becomes a trend, let's get out of here. Thanks for joining us here on
Happy
All
Thanksgiving.
Access. Happy Thanksgiving. We will see you in week 13.
Eat the gizzards.